There's something that I struggle with that makes people kind of get mad at me sometimes, and that is indecision. And I think that people view indecision as this cowardice or inability to make a choice. And in some ways, it is an inability to make a choice. I don't think it's cowardice, but I think what happens to me is one of two things. Either I don't know the answer because I don't yet have enough information, and people expect you to have an answer for everything and an opinion on everything. Or two, I have taken the time to study the matter and look at different opinions and viewpoints, and I find it fundamentally difficult to come to a conclusion because both sides have deeply compelling arguments. And in the end, I think a lot of our decisions on stances that we take have to do with our own sort of belief system as opposed to just logic and facts. And there are definitely areas where I will lean one way or another based on that, not necessarily because one is more right than the other. But then there are areas where I just can't make that decision because both arguments are, to me, equally compelling, and that I'm torn. And in a way, I understand that it can be a bad, negative thing because sometimes we must make decisions, right? We must take a stance in order to act. And so that could be a crippling thing where you can't act because you can't take a position or a stance. On the other hand, I don't like the idea of being forced into a stance when one doesn't naturally gravitate towards one because either I don't have sufficient information, or B, but I'm grappling with both arguments kind of equally. And we have a culture that almost demands that you take a position.